Good morning. Welcome to the 151st Commencement of Worcester Polytechnic Institute. Yeah. I'm Jack Mowen. I have the pleasure and the honor of being the chairman of the Board of Trustees for WPI. I'd like to first ask you to please stand for the posting of the colors and join in the singing of the national anthem, which will be followed by the invocation given by Reverend Cheryl Lachey. Thereafter, President Lori Leshin will preside over the ceremonies.
As we enter into this communal moment of reverence, I invite you to rise in spirit as you are willing and able. At this moment, let us first pause in silence. As we take in the magnitude of this day, let us feel the awe, the quiet, the stillness. Let us take in this holy space where awe, our companions, gratitude, joy, and anticipation can dwell. Graduates, you are surrounded by classmates, friends, faculty, administrators, and family, all who have companioned you, helped you, challenged you, and even some have prayed for you for this day. Breathe it in. Feel the air. You did not get here alone. Always you have been held and guided by more than yourself. May we be thankful. It is time. We are here. May it begin. Amen and blessed be.
Please be seated, everyone. Good morning to the great WPI class of 2019. To our graduates, to your families, and our many honored guests, I am delighted to join Chairman Mullen in welcoming you to these, the 151st undergraduate commencement ceremonies at WPI. Yeah. All right. To our distinguished faculty and staff, I know that you are just as excited and proud as I am to be here today because you have been with these remarkable students every step of the way. Thank you for all you've done to help them arrive at this great moment and for joining us here today in our celebration. Let's hear it for WPI's awesome faculty and staff. Now, on to the reason that we are all here today, the great WPI class of 2019. 4 years ago, you arrived in Worcester as first-year students, uncertain of the journey ahead. You remember that day? On that day, I asked you how you were feeling. Were you excited, a little overwhelmed, eager to get going with your new life? Well, I suspect many of you are feeling the same way today. But that first week on campus, I joined you in one of WPI's most hallowed traditions, crossing Earl Bridge. Since then, we've experienced many WPI traditions together, like Homecoming and Founders Day. I watched you win your first rope pull. You were here, you were the only class, actually, who were here when Alumni Gym came down and when the state-of-the-art Foisey Innovation Studio came up right in its place, right here on the quad. But most importantly, you discovered the life-altering privilege of being a part of a university that challenges us all to strive for positive impact every single day. Well, this morning I had the honor of watching you cross back over Earl Bridge, this time without me. I confess feeling a lump in my throat at the thought of bidding you goodbye for now. But more than sadness to see you go, I feel a great sense of pride in all you've accomplished here at WPI and a deep certainty that you are ready to take on the new challenges that await you beyond this campus. I know this, and your professors and your parents know it too, because over the past 4 years, we have all watched and hopefully helped you discover your passions and your strengths, and we've seen you work very, very hard, and we've seen you truly make a difference. Let me share a few examples that illustrate that. With us today are 8 graduates being honored as National Academy of Engineering Grand Challenge Scholars. This is a small, rigorous national program. Less than 200 scholars graduate worldwide in any given year, and WPI, pretty early on in our participation in this program, is already among the top 5 programs in the world. Yeah. I'll share more about one of these Grand Challenge Scholars in a moment, but first, I just couldn't resist pointing out that all of WPI's Grand Challenge Scholars this year are women. Grand Challenge Scholars, will you stand up for a minute and let us recognize you? Where are my Grand Challenge Scholars? All right, all right, all right, all right. Yes. Thank you. One of these amazing women is Cielo Sharkus. who graduates today with a degree in biomedical engineering and a minor in environmental and sustainability studies. Cielo is a first-generation college student, something that has not been easy, but she's had the support she needed here at WPI. She credits her faculty advisor, Professor Destin Heilman, who she says made her success at WPI possible through unwavering support at every step. She is a passionate woman, striving to combat environmental injustice in every way possible. She conducted her MQP research in Switzerland, where she created a fluorescent biomarker for heavy metal contamination. She has been a mentor to hundreds of high school students in the Worcester community. She is a strong, resilient, and fearless person who's not afraid to speak up for those who cannot do so for themselves. And next, I'm so excited about this, she's off to continue her mission through education. She's off to UMass Amherst, where she will complete her PhD. We will miss her here on campus, but we're so excited to see what she will achieve. Congratulations, Cielo. Next, I'd like to recognize Jess Locke. Jess is graduating today with a degree in environmental engineering. Their studies have been rigorous and highly disciplined, with an MQP focused on acid rock drainage, anything with rocks in it. You know I love that, so way to go, Jess. This acid rock drainage was negatively impacting stream water and a stream here in Massachusetts, creating a dangerous condition for wildlife. Jess and their team studied and designed 2 different treatment options to be installed at their MQP site. But there's so much more to Jess. Jess has been described as one of the most influential students on the campus in their work as an RA, a CDC peer advisor, and as a safety technician in the Office of Environmental Health and Safety. But most importantly, during their 4 years at WPI, Jess has been a champion for advancing the support of the LGBTQ+ population on our campus in the variety of roles that they have held with the student group known as the Alliance. This is evident through their work with the residential services professional staff in implementing gender-inclusive housing for upper-class students, in normalizing the use of pronouns when introducing oneself, and their work in the WPI chapter of the National OSTEM organization in providing support and advocacy for LGBTQ+ students in the STEM disciplines. And if that weren't enough, Jess is a talented writer, having published poems in the Towers and the Worcester Review. In short, Jess has helped make WPI a much more inclusive campus, and for that, we thank them. Congratulations, Jess. And finally, I want to take a moment and talk about Jared Greer. Jared arrived on our campus as a first-year student in the fall of 2014, right around the time that I got here. His freshman year was just like everybody else's, as many are, newly made friendships, trials and tribulations of calculus classes, the hustle to secure sophomore housing with friends. But at the end of his freshman year, Jared suffered a devastating spinal cord injury. The next year, rather than returning to campus, Jared underwent multiple surgeries, medical appointments, physical therapy, and he just threw in a few online courses to make sure he kept his education moving forward. A year after his injury, he returned to WPI. He arrived in a motorized wheelchair and was ready to go, and go he has. Jared has gone on to conquer a path to the mechanical engineering degree he'll earn today, with a focus on assistive technology and rehabilitative engineering, and with fierce grit and determination. And of course, he didn't do it alone. From his brothers at Lambda Chi, give me a woo, to the staff in the Office of Disability Services, to his classmates and professors, the community that is WPI rallied around him. And he is paying that support forward, first as a disability advocate, helping other students navigate WPI, and then through his MQP, where he and his team are working to design a device that can recreate movements and experience of non-disabled skiers for disabled skiers. Wow, that sounds absolutely amazing and really, really hard. I personally have gotten to know Jared and his family, and I have to say that while I'm proud of each and every graduate of WPI, my pride in seeing Jared graduate today is pretty over the top, but I'm not going to cry. Jared, your spirit captures the very best of this community. Congratulations to you today. And speaking of inspiring, I'm thrilled to welcome our 2 honorary degree recipients here this morning. You will soon hear much more about them, but a special welcome to Gordon Hargrove, who has been the director of Worcester's own Friendly House for 60 years. Yes, wow is right. Somebody said wow, and wow is right. Welcome, Gordon. And also to my friend and colleague, Dr. Ellen Stofan, the director of the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum and former chief scientist of NASA. You guessed it, NASA, yes. Our honored commencement speaker, Ellen, we're so happy to have you with us today, too. And no pressure, Ellen, but you've got some big shoes to fill. 100 years ago this summer, a rising young political star named Franklin Delano Roosevelt strode across the stage in our own alumni gym and delivered a rousing commencement speech to the 44 fresh-faced undergraduates sitting before him. The great communicator, as they called him, spoke about the urgent need for service and for giving back to the nation and to communities. While his speech was given in a time of turmoil and at the end of a recent war, the sentiment still resonates even today. Graduates, the degree that you have earned can never be taken away from you. It connects you deeply to the generations of WPI alumni who came before you. Now you have the opportunity, as 150 years of WPI alumni have had, to shape and to safeguard the world for future generations, just like FDR urged our graduates to do 100 years ago. And so, as you graduate today, I leave you with two requests. First, I challenge you to focus on the opportunities ahead, yes, but not to overlook the responsibilities ahead. With this education and your capabilities, we know you will do well in your career and do well for your families. My charge to you, class of 2019, is that you also be sure to do good. For your community, for the nation, for the planet, your WPI education has prepared you to make an impact on a much broader stage. And so, apply what you have learned here for good. Use your WPI degree to continue to make us proud. And second, I ask you to stay connected to us here at WPI. Help us continue to elevate this place. Help us spread the word about what's happening here. Come back from time to time and share your story with our current students. You are a part of the WPI family forever, and it is a pretty special family to be a part of. So I'm going to send you off now, as I did on that very first day, remember, with my best impression of NASA Mission Control. But before I do, I want to wish you well on your journey. I am so proud of each and every one of you. Okay, back to Mission Control, and I need your help with this one. One last time. Class of 2019, you are go for launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Congratulations and thank you. It is our custom at commencement to hear from a representative of the graduating class. The class of 2019 representative is Miss Emily Molstad. Okay, so you know her. Emily came to WPI from Newington, Connecticut, has completed her BS in mechanical engineering. Woo! While here, she was an active member of the campus community. She has been involved with Alpha Xi Delta and student government, Alpha Xi Delta, woo, and student government since freshman year. She was also a community advisor, participant in the trustee-mentee program, and a member of the Provost Student Advisory Committee. She often volunteered at Second Chance Animal Shelter through the Promotion of Animal Welfare Society. The highlight of her WPI experience was traveling to Bangkok, Thailand, where she worked with a project team to reduce the consumption of single-use plastics. Her future plans are to complete her master's in materials science right here at WPI while working for Solvus Global as a materials engineer. The title of her address is Stepping Stones. Emily.
Welcome, classmates, President Leshin, Board of Trustees, honored special guests, faculty, staff, alumni, family members, and friends. It is my pleasure to serve as your WPI Class of 2019 commencement speaker. 1,300 1,357. That is the number of days we've been WPI undergraduates. 1,357 days ago, we moved into our home on the hill and headed into the best 4 years of our lives. We all had different reasons for deciding to come to WPI. Maybe we wanted a small, close-knit community, or an opportunity to work on real-world problems. Maybe we wanted the challenge of a highly rigorous academic program, or a place we could collaborate on projects across disciplines. Or maybe, just maybe, winter is our favorite season. And we all wanted to experience it in Worcester. No matter the reason, we decided to attend WPI confident that it would guide us toward becoming successful and impactful members of our community. And that guidance began on day one, when we heard, for the first of many times, the following 9 words: go to class, do the work, ask for help. These words, which were repeated often over the past 4 years, weren't always easy to practice in day-to-day life, but when followed, set you solidly on the path to success at WPI. During my time here, and through many tough lessons learned, I have added 6 new words to the original 9. Words that I'll take with me as I leave the comfort of the hill, because I know these words will continue to guide me on my professional and personal journeys. I'd like to share them with you today before we each head off on our next great adventure. My 6 new words are: embrace failure, prioritize people, stay present. Embrace failure. On paper, our academic careers have been a linear process. The completion of each class and term and year leading into the next. We celebrate our achievements, and why shouldn't we? Enduring a WPI finals week and coming out on top is no small feat. Completing yet another group project with your sanity intact should earn you a medal. We make posts on social media about straight A's or new job offers because we earned it. Yet, behind our triumphs are aspects of our journey we prefer not to think about. Bumps in the road that shake us off that ideal linear path. Maybe you took a challenging class and didn't pass. Perhaps you didn't get your first choice interactive qualifying project. Or maybe you pushed for a new leadership opportunity or internship and it went to someone else. No one's making posts about these moments on Facebook. It is a natural feeling to shy away from your greatest failures. But one valuable lesson WPI has taught me is how to embrace them. Robert F. Kennedy once said, "Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly." I want you to think about a low point from some time in the past 4 years. And now, I want you to realize that last walk over Earl Bridge today was proof that you made it. Every mistake you made and shortcoming is evidence that you're stretching outside of your comfort zone, and that should be applauded. As new graduates entering the next chapter, there are times where we are going to fail. Do not freeze when faced with the potential of failure, but rather march on and set your new path. Accept the fact that our journeys are not linear, and even a step backward or a so-called failure can be a step in the right direction. Once we understand this, we can begin to recognize that the key to success and fulfillment is not found only in our grade point average, but rather in the relationships we build with others. Prioritize people. Putting people first keeps us grounded in our efforts towards success. Conversations in the campus center leave me feeling inspired and interested in new topics. Hanging out on the quad slows down the buzz of our hectic academic lives. Even sitting quietly in the library near someone you don't know is a comforting reminder that we're all in this together. Our day-to-day interactions shape how we see the world around us and shed new light on our individual lives. WPI is an inclusive community where the success of everyone has always come before individual achievement. I've never been made to feel like an inconvenience when asking for help from a peer. And even with our immense dedication to our studies, there's always room for fun and adventure. Some of my favorite memories come from late-night study groups where we spent more time watching videos on social media than actually studying, or putting off homework to go on a food run. If I had focused exclusively on the work that needed to get done, I would have eaten a lot less fast food, and I would have gotten a lot more sleep, but I wouldn't have the amazing friendships I do now. At WPI, I learned that it's easier to tackle the challenges we all face when we lean on the support system we've built around us. Our 4 7-week terms are certainly a challenge, a sprint and marathon wrapped into one. But when you focus on the friendships you've made throughout your time here, it's easier to slow down and make memories. Stay present. Staying in the now and taking life one day at a time is easier said than done. But it is a skill I'm grateful for learning at WPI. Some of you may know the TV show The Office. What I love most about the show is its ability to find humor in simple day-to-day life, and its appreciation for the relationships we build throughout our careers. The show reminds me that all aspects of our lives, no matter how exciting or mundane, are part of a greater story. One of the most meaningful quotes from the show comes from the character Andy Bernard, who said, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them." Graduation day feels like the end of an era, leaving behind the good old days. For the past year, we've been celebrating last moments of our undergraduate career. Our last first day of school, our last finals week, and possibly the last time we'll live within walking distance of our friends. It is an overwhelming idea that the supposed best 4 years of our lives are now behind us. I implore you to make sure that our time at WPI has been the best 4 years of our lives so far. We've mastered the technical skills needed to excel in our disciplines. We've learned how to address problems on a global scale. We've developed our ability to be effective leaders and strong team players. And now, we're ready to put that training into action. Use the knowledge, experience, and skill you gained here to have a positive impact on the world, and help guide others to do the same. See each lesson, no matter how challenging, as a stepping stone towards success and happiness. Embrace your failures. Prioritize the people in your life. Make a conscious effort to stay present, and you'll always be in the good old days. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily, for those wonderful remarks. I look forward to seeing you around campus for one more year at least, and following your certain future success. I would now like to call to the podium Lucas Mancinelli and Rosie McCarthy for presentation of the class gift.
President Leshin, members of the Board of Trustees, I present to you a check in the amount of $25,225. This gift is the culmination of 520 gifts, totaling 51% from the class of 2019.
This year's gift will help expand the new global lab within the Foisey Innovation Studio. Our class will ensure the launch of a student IQP out of this space next academic year, while building the foundation for a future on-campus Project Center site. The class of 2019 is one of a long line of classes who have left their mark upon the institution through giving back. This represents the first of undoubtedly many more philanthropic acts by our class in the years and decades to come. We would like to thank Trustee Emeritus Win Preem, class of 1959, for his challenge match to the class, President Leshin for her support, and Tracy Baldelli for guiding us through the process, the generous contributions of faculty, staff, and parents, as well as the entire Senior Class Gift Committee. We are humbled to announce that the Senior Class Gift Challenge will now exist forever, thanks to a generous commitment by Susan and Win Preem, 59. It will now be known as the Susan S. and Wendell B. Preem, 59 Senior Class Gift Challenge, and will continue in perpetuity, inspiring generations of WPI students, just like us, to give back to the university. Lastly, thank you to the class of 2019 for rising to the challenge. I hope that you join us in a lifetime of engagement and philanthropy to our alma mater. And with this, we challenge the class of 2020 to beat our class's legacy.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much to the senior class for this wonderful gift in support of the Global Lab and future student projects. I am so grateful to the class, and more than half of you contributed to support that gift. That's amazing. We take this support as validation of the special impact the global experience has had on so many of you. And I just want to give a second special thanks to the Preem family for their generous gift to enable permanent endowment for the Senior Class Gift Challenge. How about it for the Preem family? It now gives me great pleasure to recognize the young men and women of our programs in military education who were commissioned yesterday in an amazing ceremony. Would our new officers please stand and be recognized by the audience? Rosie, you can just stay standing. We thank you for your commitment and service to our country. The trustees of Worcester Polytechnic Institute recognize the extraordinary impact that faculty have on the success of our students, and each year recognize several faculty members for their excellence in the classroom, in the lab, and in the community. Would Provost Wole Sobiejo please come forward to recognize the 2019 Trustee Faculty Award recipients?
The WPI Trustees Award for Outstanding Teaching is Ken Stafford. teaching professor in undergraduate studies. As the recipient, he serves as the honorary marshal for today's commencement exercises. Professor Stafford, please stand and be recognized. Also recognized were Professor Yan Wang of the Department of Mechanical Engineering for outstanding research and creative scholarship, Professor Scarlett Schell of the Department of Biology and Biotechnology for outstanding advising, and Linda Luft, Assistant Vice President for Government and Community Relations, who was awarded with the Nicoletti Award for Community Service. Please join in a round of applause for these distinguished members of our community. The Chairman's Exemplary Faculty Prize was established in 2007 through the personal philanthropy of Donald K. Peterson, 71, former chair of the WPI Board of Trustees. Current board chair, Jack Mullen, is proud to continue the tradition established by Mr. Peterson. WPI's other trustee awards recognize excellence in particular areas of faculty performance: teaching, research, service, and advising. The purpose of the Chairman's Prize is to recognize and reward members of the faculty who excel in all relevant areas of faculty performance, the true exemplars of the Institute's highest aspirations and most important qualities. The recipient of the 2019 Chairman's Exemplary Faculty Prize is Professor Sharon Johnson of the Foisey Business School. Professor Johnson, please stand and be recognized.
Following the ancient tradition established in the great medieval universities of Europe and perpetuated by the practices of institutions of higher education throughout the centuries, Worcester Polytechnic Institute confers honorary degrees upon persons who have achieved high distinction in their fields of endeavor. Today, we shall confer 2 honorary degrees. Would Foisey Business School Dean Steve Taylor please present Gordon Hargrove for WPI's honorary degree?
Madam President, it is my duty and pleasure to present Gordon Hargrove for WPI's honorary degree. For an astonishing 60 years, Gordon Hargrove has devoted himself to Friendly House, Worcester's iconic social services agency. In that time, he has steered it through calm and storm, providing a safe haven to the city's most vulnerable citizens and helping them build new lives on its shores. It is difficult to overstate the impact Hargrove has had on Friendly House or the impact it has had on the city. Starting as a small settlement house in 1920, it has grown into Worcester's comprehensive social services hub. Today, it provides more than 25,000 residents each year with a coordinated set of housing, feeding, counseling, civic, senior, and youth programs, all designed to help individuals and families help themselves. The success of Friendly House owes much to the purposeful leadership of Hargrove, its longtime executive director, and to his respect for diversity and ability to inspire others. Ever seeking to serve the needs of his community more effectively, he has traveled the world. Bringing back new knowledge, he has launched targeted outreach programs, opened shelter facilities, and established fruitful partnerships with local organizations, including WPI. In fact, the Institute's students, faculty, and staff has served as mentors, volunteers, and technological advisors to Friendly House for more than 40 years. For example, the men's basketball team has long hosted an after-school program for Friendly House youth, while participants in Camp Reach, a summer engineering program for rising 7th grade girls, have completed numerous projects for the organization. WPI student teams have completed many IQPs that have helped Friendly House reach major goals. As just a few examples, they helped design an energy-efficient building extension project and a new unit with 8 condominiums. And the designs for the main building's front and backyards helped Friendly House win a block grant for the redevelopment of that property. Hargrove understands well the value of higher education. Before joining the Army, he earned a bachelor's degree in education from Worcester State College, a master's in social work from the University of Connecticut, and a doctorate in education from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. His numerous honors include the Greater Worcester Community Foundation's Renaissance Award and induction into the Boys and Girls Club of Worcester's Hall of Fame. For his distinguished leadership of a vital Worcester institution, his passion for making miracles happen in the lives of others, and it's an inspiring example to generations of WPI students, faculty, and staff. It is WPI's honor to confer on Gordon Hargrove the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, granted to the trustees of Worcester Polytechnic Institute and entrusted by them to me, I now confer upon you the honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree with all the associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations, Dr. Hargrove. Would Dean of Graduate Studies, Terry Comisano, please present Ellen Stofan for WPI's honorary degree?
Madam President, it is my duty and pleasure to present Ellen Stofan for WPI's honorary degree. In 1965, Ellen Stofan traveled from Ohio to Florida to witness her first live rocket launch. The exhilaration and awe she felt ignited in her a dream of unlocking the mysteries of the solar system. Since then, as a planetary scientist, she has made vital discoveries about the geology of Mars, Venus, and Saturn's moon Titan. And as NASA's chief scientist, she left an enduring mark on the accomplishments and aspirations of one of the nation's premier science institutions. Today, as the John and Adrienne Mars Director, she is the first woman to lead the Smithsonian Institution's National Air and Space Museum, which houses the world's largest collection of artifacts related to aviation, spaceflight, and the study of the universe. In addition to managing an annual budget of $48 million, she is overseeing a 7-year, $900 million project that will revitalize the museum inside and out. Stofan earned a bachelor's degree from the College of William and Mary and master's and doctoral degrees in geological science from Brown University. Since then, her distinguished career has taken her from senior scientist positions at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory to 6 years as NASA's chief scientist. As principal advisor to former Administrator Charles Bolden, she helped the agency chart its transition from the International Space Station to future manned missions to the Moon and Mars, and supported a wide range of space science missions. One of CNN's extraordinary people of 2014, her many other honors include the Presidential Early Career Award for Scientists and Engineers and the NASA Distinguished Service Medal. She has addressed the World Economic Forum in Davos and the World Science Festival, and is one who was inspired early on by science and technology. She is passionate about kindling that interest in young people and building an innovative and diverse STEM workforce for the future. She has actively mentored new generations of women in STEM throughout her career and has made it a priority at the Smithsonian to showcase diverse achievers from space and aviation history so that all children who visit will be inspired to say, "I can do that too." For her exceptional contributions to American science and space exploration, her stewardship of America's aviation and space heritage, and her dedication to making it possible for new generations to say, "I can do that too," WPI is proud to confer on Ellen Stofan the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
By the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts granted to the trustees of Worcester Polytechnic Institute and entrusted by them to me, I now confer upon you the Honorary Doctor of Science degree with all the associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Dr. Stofan will now deliver the commencement address.
To the Worcester Polytechnic Institute graduating class of 2019, Chairman Mullen, President Leshen, Provost Sobiado, Board of Trustees, and family and friends of today's graduates, thank you for having me here today with you to celebrate this exciting occasion. It's an honor to be here among the next generation of STEM innovators who I know are going to go on to incredible things. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to the friends, families, and professors who helped you get here today. Let's give them a round of applause. You did it. Congratulations. I remember when I was in your shoes, sitting in my cap and gown, listening to the commencement speaker, anxiously awaiting the chance to officially move the tassel from the right to the left. For me, that day, longer ago than I care to think about, was the greatest personal achievement that I had accomplished in my life thus far. And I imagine today is for you as well. And it is an incredible personal achievement. When you decided 4 years ago to come to Worcester, you probably had no idea what was in store. You probably had no idea how these years would shape and change you. They would make you who you are. The experiences you've had, the friends you've made, the professors who inspired you, these things have helped you to discover your best self. But an ever-present question lingers. Where do you go from here? Today might be the greatest personal achievement that you have accomplished in your life so far. So far. You are graduating with a degree from an incredible university, and the opportunities before you are as vast as the universe itself. I want you to take the opportunity today, on a day when anything seems possible, to ask yourselves how high you can truly go. You are graduating 50 years after a moment in history that redefined how we think about the phrase highest achievement. A moment in history during which we sent 3 people further into the unknown than humans had ever been before, during which 2 Americans walked on another world and looked back on our home planet from a distance that seemed impossibly vast. In that moment, one man's small step became a giant leap for all humankind. I'm referring, of course, to the Apollo 11 moon landing on July 20th, 1969. Less than a decade earlier, in May of 1961, President John F. Kennedy, in an address to Congress, proclaimed the goal of landing an American on the moon and returning him safely to Earth. Keep in mind that at this point, we'd only launched a single person, Alan Shepard, into space, but President Kennedy was already looking further. We weren't just going to orbit the Earth, as John Glenn would a year later. We were going to travel 250,000 miles from Earth to the moon, and then land on it, and then bring back the astronauts safe and sound. This speech set America on a course for the next decade of space exploration, but it isn't necessarily the speech we mention when we talk about JFK's audacious challenge. More than a year later, President Kennedy stood before a crowd of students, faculty, community members, and politicians at Rice University in Texas and laid out his case for what he called the most hazardous and dangerous and great adventure on which we've ever embarked. We choose to go to the moon, he said. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. It would become known as the Apollo moonshot. And that phrase moonshot has come to mean more than just spaceflight. It stands for what President Kennedy called a goal that serves to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, and a challenge that we are willing to accept and unwilling to postpone. Spaceflight demands the best of everything we have to give, and it shows us what we can do together when the sky is no longer the limit. And that brings me back to all of you. What do you dream of accomplishing if I tell you that not even the sky is the limit? We went from the first airplane flight to landing a human on the moon in only 66 years. One human lifetime. Neil Armstrong literally carried small pieces that had broken off the Wright Flyer at Kitty Hawk with him to the Sea of Tranquility. What will come to pass in your lifetime? As a society, our ability of rapid advancement is incredible. So your wildest dreams and crazy ideas that live in the back of your head, they can be made into reality, and they may well be in the future. So, what is your moonshot? A moonshot can be societal, or it can be personal, it can be world-changing, or it can change one life, even or especially your own. At its core, though, it's a goal that requires the best of your abilities, that captures your attention and won't let go. It's that thought that keeps you up at night, dreaming of moving forward 10 times while everyone else is struggling to move 10%. That's how Peter Diamandis, founder of the X Prize Foundation, describes a moonshot. It's the most useful descriptor I've ever heard to describe the incredible drive we're all capable of tapping into, particularly on a day like today. Perhaps your moonshot is to create a life-saving vaccine or cure, or to help a rural community create sustainable systems, or to stem climate change. Maybe it's to go to graduate school or to one day be a professor and become a guiding light for your students. Or maybe your moonshot will one day take you to the moon or Mars and you'll be the next person to walk on the lunar or even the Martian surface. For me, it was sailing on an alien sea. I should clarify, I don't have any interest in personally sailing on alien seas. My moonshot was to send a spacecraft to Saturn's moon Titan to sail on its methane ocean. Titan's an amazing moon. It's the only moon in our solar system with a substantial atmosphere. Images taken by the Cassini spacecraft in 2006 showed that there are lakes on Titan filled with liquid methane and ethane. This moon, nearly 750 million miles from the Earth, is the only place other than Earth that we know of with open bodies of liquid. And like all good explorers discovering a distant sea, my team and I wanted to send a boat there. So we submitted a proposal for a Discovery class mission to NASA. These are missions that cost less than $425 million. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but it's actually cheap by NASA standards. Even though the mission is supposed to be cheap, not everything gets funded. There's a lot of competition, and we worked hard, incredibly hard, on our proposal. We refined and reviewed and revised it until it was ready to submit, but so did 27 other teams, all with their own dreams. When it came down to narrow down to 3 finalists, we made the cut and got to work on a mission plan. And over the course of 8 months and many late nights, we poured our heart and soul into the project. And then we lost to a mission to Mars called InSight. That's a great mission. I was absolutely crushed. I cried a lot. But I had to pull myself together and call the team to tell them the bad news. And I had to smile and talk calmly and coherently at a debrief where they tell you all the things you didn't get quite right. I've heard that it's possible to make no mistakes and still lose. Captain Picard said that, not JFK. But you know, that was cold comfort. We'd organized the best of our energies and skills, and what did we have to show for it? What did we learn by facing the challenge but not accomplishing the task? Orville Wright used to talk about something called the standard of impossibility. That's the thought we all agree. It's an idea that's so outlandish, it stands as a symbol for other impossible things. For a while, it was understood that you might as well try and fly meant something that just couldn't be done. Orville and Wilbur agreed that it could be done, of course, and the standard of impossibility had to change. You might as well try and walk on the moon worked for a while, but then we did that too. You might as well try and sail a ship across the polar seas of Titan has never been a popular expression. But it did represent one standard of impossibility for NASA, and this is the same organization that had put people on the moon 6 times over. We'd worked 4 long, hard years to demonstrate that it could be done, and in the end, NASA didn't exactly disagree. We didn't get to set sail on our silent alien sea, but maybe our reach had extended our grasp. Now that I work in a museum full of stories like this, I can see more clearly what we won. Every story in there is about someone trying to defy gravity in any way they can. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. But every attempt adds to the effort. After thousands of years of dreaming, we figure out how to fly, and then before you know it, we're walking on the moon, and next Mars. It turns out spending 4 years trying to sail a ship to the moons of Saturn, even if you don't get off the ground, is great preparation for eventually getting humans to Mars. Because there are going to be failures, there are going to be disappointments, there will be heartbreak. This is a risky business. It sounds a lot like college. But just like my Titan boat, you look at what you have and you imagine what you can do with it. You take the money and the technology and you think about how you can defy the odds and the expectations to push the standard of impossibility a little further. You organize the best of your energy and skill and you measure yourself against the challenge. That's all to say that failure is an inherent part of a moonshot. It's an inherent part of success, and so is the ability to overcome adversity, to look back on a disappointing experience and see the growth that accompanied the heartache. Because success can be found in failure if you're able to pick yourself up and figure out why you failed and to work past that failure. NASA has a program called Fail Smart. It's literally an award for failure. And it's rooted in the idea that innovation can only truly flourish when you allow failure, when you're not afraid to fail. Of course, nobody wants to fail. No one sets out with the belief that you ultimately won't succeed. But if you allow yourself to be controlled by a fear of failure, if you allow your dreams to be compromised by that fear, that is where real failure resides. My story does have a happy ending. Months after my dream of sending a boat to sail on the alien sea of Titan was put on hold, I got a phone call that opened brand new doors. I became the chief scientist of NASA, and suddenly I was responsible for the agency's overall science programs and working on the development of a long-range plan to get humans to Mars. And my experience working on the Titan proposal and other moments in my career where things didn't go quite right gave me the perspective I needed to do the job effectively. And now I'm the director of the National Air and Space Museum, and I get to inspire the next generation of innovators, explorers, and researchers to find their own moonshot and transform our world as we know it. When I sat where you all sat today all those years ago, did I know what this was where my career would take me? No, not even in the slightest. But I knew what I was passionate about, where I wanted my life and my career to go in the broad sense. Today, as you prepare to walk across the stage and officially become WPI graduates, you don't have to know exactly where your life will lead you. But what I want you to take away from today, when you think back on your graduation, one day from now, 1 year from now, or 35 years from now, is the importance of discovering your passion, identifying your moonshot to work toward, and not being afraid of all the steps and missteps along the way. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stofan, for your thoughtful and important remarks. We will carry them with us for many years to come. So one quick message to our graduates. You know how I love the selfies, but it's going to take us, 3.5 years just to do everything if we're taking pictures ourselves on the stage. We have wonderful photographers here. They will get pictures, and I will be happy to come back out after the ceremony and do pictures with whoever wants them. I'll stay as long as you all want. So no selfies on the stage. Are you ready? I don't know, faculty, maybe one more class? Let's try that again. I need a little louder. Are you ready? We will now confer degrees in course.
Madam President, the candidates to be introduced here have completed the academic requirements for the bachelor's degree as prescribed by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. They've gone to class, they've gone to labs, they've gone to project team meetings, they've done the work here and around the world, and they've asked for help, and they've given a lot of help to others. They pursued studies in the arts and sciences, in engineering, and in business. They will be presented by the respective deans.
I invite Peterson family, Dean of Arts and Sciences, Jean King, to come forward.
I'm more excited than you are. I'm so excited. Okay, will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the arts and sciences please rise?
Woo!
Madam President, I have the distinct honor to present the Arts and Sciences candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Madam President, the candidates standing have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of study.
By the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, granted to the trustees of Worcester Polytechnic Institute and entrusted by them to me, I now confer upon you the bachelor's degree you have earned in your respective field of study, with all the associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Please come forward.
Graduates from the Bioinformatics and Computational Biology program. Daniel Matthew Champlin. Kylie Ann Dickinson. Alicia N. Howell Munson. Amanda Wiley Molazan. Haley Trisha Northcott. Owen James O'Connell. Jennifer A. Payano. Graduates from the Biology and Biotechnology Department. Matthew Joseph Arujo. Locke Ezra Ross Bonomo. Brianna Rose Burke. Brianna Marie Courteau. Daniel Bernard Crosby. Alexander B. Zucra. Claire, by the way, Dickinson Burke. Andrew S. Ellis. Joseph R. Evans. Jacqueline Pilar Garcia. Sophia Jansara Cusa. Johan Krishna Gergenrath. Jane Asai Lockery. Madeline Grace Manfra Levitt. Emily Rose McClone. Lindsay Jane Merrill. Tin Sai Win. Allison Paige O'Neill. Solimar Ramis de Aleflor Reyes. Samantha E. Randall. Hamad Mohammed Sadiq. Michael William Savoy. Edith Morgan Sawyer. Akshay Amish Shah. Elena Maria Stratus. Maxwell Conrad Studley. Bailey Ann Sweet. James Andrew Velez. Elizabeth Alexandria Walks. Graduates from the Chemistry and Biochemistry Department. Erica Margaret Davis. Kristanita Kazeru de Oliveira. Stephen James Foley. Olivia Rose Gray. Roswell Grace Johnson. Michelle Courtney Kearns. Emily Diane LeClaire. Oscar Lee. Samantha Catherine Lindberg. Sean Patrick McCoy. Eileen Lorraine Padilla. Sarah E. Payne. Kate D. Romero. Cielo Angelica Sharkis. Erica Marie Meadows Stark. Emma Isabel Travasso. Shujun Wong. Caroline Margaret Warshall. Graduates from the Computer Science Department. Rushdi M. Abulhaja. Alexander A. Antea. Spiridon Antonatos. Jason L. Ashton. Jonathan Avellino Avant. Quinn S. Averill. Jackson Craig Baker. Samuel M. Baumgarten. Adam Benjamin Bedigal. Meghana Bhatia. John B. Bieber. Theodore James Bieber. Griffin R. Bishop. Bradford W. Bonanno. Fabio A. Borges. Madeline G. Burke. Adam Orion Camilli. Frank R. Capanelli. Quinn T. Ha Cow. Griffin Daniel Cecil. Daniel Chow. Jack Luke Charbonneau. Drew Paul Cicerelli. Sahil M. Claypool. Samuel C. Koash. Samantha Jo Como. James Andrew Corse. An H.P. Doe. Nathaniel Steele Denler. Gotham Om Diva. Nathan Paul Druniak. Evan Larkham Duffy. Henry M. Dunphy. John E. Dyer. Shaiwat Akanumchai. Jeffrey Estrada. Jacob Thomas Faycolt. Mitchell Thomas Farron. Maurice Anthony Flannery. Matthew R. Fortmeyer. Joshua Andrew D. Galang. Yufei Gao. Tessa C. Garbely. Luke D. Gardiner. Jesse T. Gollin. Alazar Ganene. David L. Giongrave. Manuel Santana Gonçalves V. Sinella Prima Marie Gonzalez. Leo Sunny Grand. Anthony Charles Gringari. Trang Du Ha. Rachel Jean Han. Emily Howe. Alexander D. Hard. Robert Alexander Harrison. Jacob C. Henry. Juan Luis Herrero Estrada. Quinn Ding Tuk Hoang. Jeremy Michael Hoffman. Nicholas Clark Holland. Benjamin Lourdes Hylack. Ian Johnson. Nicholas Kalampalikas. Remy M. Kaldawi. Jacob T. Kaplan. James Harrison Kenny. Daniel Jaewoo Kim. Tae Hyun Kim. Jacob Elias Commissar. Michael J. Krebs. Austin Bernard Labasti. Julian Philip Lanson. Lucas R. Labreo. Kenneth Lavasser. Ming Chan Liu. Ian Wallace McGregor. Benjamin Milton Matuzzi. Stephen D. McAteer. Matthew J. McDonald. Daniel Bowen McKay. Connor William McNamara. Jung Kyung Mufeng. William Vorchtek Mosby. Krista Rose Murdy. Andrew Edward Nemeth. Liana Nugent. Keen V. Non. Benjamin Charles Nickerson. Peter Almeida Nolan. Malika Nurbakova. Kevin Raymond O'Brien Jr. Aiden J. O'Keefe. Jack N. Palmstrom. Amanda Nicole Penny. Eric Hunter Peterson. Samuel John Pridakis. Michael Prindle. John Elias Pugmire. Anthony Erdong Chin. Ryan K. Racine. Harsh Rana. Tejas Rao. Simon Galen Redding. Adonai Zenebe Resum. Kyle Lipford Richards. Dylan Richardson. Abigail R. Rowan. Kirsten Hintz Roberts. Logan Alexander Romero. Lucas Sackerer. Harachun Sadoyan. Tarek W. Safa. Kyle Quinn Savell. Jake Connor Scheide. Paul Henry M. Schoenhagen. Ethan Henry Schutzman. Christian R. Silito. Paul Clinton Shingleton IV. Brady Snowden. Alejandro Soler Gayoso. Miles Imolo Spencer. Joseph Keenan St. Pierre. James R. Taylor. Michael Tehiro Taylor. Kartik Tupul Vasu. Chad Jason Underhill. Sylvia Marielle Vanderwide. Marianne Elizabeth Van Valkenburg. Zachary Lewis Vaughn. Joe Chuen Wong. Yao Feng Wong. Thomas Grosvenor Wiles. Colin John Willoughby. Joan Wong. Isaac W. Woods. Saul Van Hook Wolf. Jesse Ying. Mario Zyla. Brian Matthew Zillick. Graduates from the Humanities and Arts Department. Morgan Elizabeth Reisinger. Graduates from the Interactive Media and Game Development Program. Sean R. Briggs. Leo Ryan Bunye. Nathaniel Harrison Carter. Paige Nicole Cox. Patrick I. Kritz. Grant Andrew Frederick. Evan Boyle Frost. Aaron P. Graham. Hung Hong. Hannah M. Jarris. Kailun Liu. Vincent Castro Miller. Adam Seth Moran. Carl J. Rosenfeld. Laura Elizabeth Sawin. Bailey Howard Sostek. Abda Annabella St. Fleur. William Suriner. David Yuhua Tang. Samuel Donald Winter. Graduates from the Mathematical Sciences Department. Luke C. Brown. Jonathan Andrew Fury Cohen. Sean William Frazier. Jeremy Matthew John. Caroline Margaret Johnston. Lisandra Leo. Celeste Lee. Liana Vickus. Corey Jacob O'Malley. Marshall James Petrolia. Jackson Philip Perry. Gentian Ren. Robert Mack Rosen II. Paula Sarion Silvestre. Jacob Benjamin Steinberg. Jonathan Samuel Venn. Jung Chun Hong. Graduates from the Physics Department. Jacob Nicholas Bouchard. Alexis Taylor Buzzle. Benjamin H. Child. Darian Gaudette. Marco Andrew Interlandi. Nicholas Mears. Andrew I. Mendizable. Nathaniel Mayone. Erin May Morissette. Hayden Antonio Savage. Taylor G. Trottier. Brianna Lynn Voidach. Graduates from the Social Science and Policy Studies Department. Jashanti R. Allen. Cameron Lynn Cantrell. Ryan M. Kudamis Brunoli. Maria Elizabeth Daigle. Ethan Thomas Marshall. Michelle Rosa Mestris. Daniel J. Vega.
All right, let's hear it for Arts and Sciences grads. Woo! We are just getting started. I now invite Dean of Engineering, John McNeil, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in engineering please rise? Madam President, I have the distinct honor and the great pleasure of presenting the engineering candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Madam President, the candidates standing have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of engineering.
By the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, granted to the trustees of Worcester Polytechnic Institute and entrusted by them to me, I now confer upon you the bachelor's degree you have earned in your respective field of study, with all the associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Please come forward.
Graduates from the Aerospace Engineering Program, Alexander R. Alvarez. Quentin Cecil Barker. Teresa E. Bender. Troy P. Bergeron. Catherine Elizabeth Burris. Diana Drayton Salage. Robert Crockett. Heather L. Cummings. Nicholas Joseph Cunha. Amanda Charlotte Dings. Peter David Doan. Jacob H. Fennick. Kyle Francis Foster. Adam J. Fruin. John Patrick Furter. Eve Marie George. Grace Helen Gerhardt. Jacob Allen Goldsberry. Stephanie Paige Helfrey. Zachary Charles Hurl. Spencer Wynn Harrington. Harrison M. Hertline. Romel Devon Jack. Alexander Burgess Kant. Evan Robert Kelly. Nicholas John de Grace LaPierre. Vanessa Ann Lagier. Nicholas Lucena Farias. Lucas James Mancinelli. Nicholas J. Manos. Ty F. Moquin. Connor McMahon Murphy. Finn Eamon O'Brien. John Ryan O'Neill. Michael David Oswald. Benjamin Pascalano. Jackson N. Peters. Nathan Thomas Siegel. Clifford Edward Smith IV. Nicholas Jordan Songer. Justin K. Taveras. Bailey Margaret Waterman. Daniel Chester Weber. Tyler Michael Weiss. Jackson K. Whitehouse. Rose A. Whittle. Amelia Blair Wilson. Jacob L. Wilson. Marisol Samaniego Guayante. Zachary Julius Zolotalovsky.
Graduates from the Biomedical Engineering Department. Benjamin Russell Aldrich. Fatin Mohammed El-Khalidi. Kelly Lynn Borden. Hannah P. Bornt. Joshua Scott Boynton. Daniela Marie Serkanowitz. Mackenzie Ann Conlin. Alicia Brienne Costi. Victoria Crowley. Alexander Michael Cruz. Mary Rose Davis. Kristen Detloff. Abigail Doyle. Julia Ann Dunn. Zoe Mia Foley. Stephen Joseph Franca Jr. Matteo Franco Ferrari. Sydney Garcia. Sophia Odessa Gervasio. Shanez Garamani. Lauren Elin Gerton. Rosanna S. Height. Erin Heinley. Megan Ruth Hendry. Sydney Michelle Hurley. Deborah Kalambayi Najilabu. Anastasia Karapanahu. Ravneet Kaur. Emily Ann Kalea. Justin Eric Korn. Catherine Eleanor Kowalczyk. Alexander Joseph Kuros. Olivia Marie Elaine Levitt. Christine Lujo. Joshua David Manning. Stephanie Marie Marcucci. Shion Matsumoto. Catherine Marie Matias. Madison Denise Michaud. Brian Wilhelm Moore. Jameson Moore. Matthew Charles Moore. Samantha Jean Moriarty. Emily M. Mora. Emily Margaret Mossman. Kyle Robert Mudge. Tenyala Oguntulu. Alyssa Megan Paul. Marissa Pereira. Rachel Doris Peterson. Jada Ashari Plummer. Angelica Cornelia Pollard Knight. Elizabeth Ann Cavillan. Alex Stephen Rebello. Kaylin Marie Richuti. John S. Ringett. Aaron R. Rosenthal. Lara Alicia Schmoyer. Nicholas W. Seagrave. Arth Sharma. David P. Smia. Stephanie Marie Smizek. Daniel Sohaki. Giselle Chum-Sosa. Sarah R. St. Pierre. Victoria T. Velashe. Jennifer Evelyn Wheelahan. Melissa Ann Wanowski. Graduates from the Chemical Engineering Department. Deja Ali Alderando. Faraj Batal Alanabja Aldasari. Saeed Auda Al-Sharani. Khalid Jamail Al-Sohabi. Salvador Alvarado Olivio. Michael John Ambrose V. Laura Beth Auerbach. John Gerald Bauer. Ashley Nicole Blanchard. Joseph Charles Boscow. Josie Ann Bradshaw. Angela Calvi. Joshua Pablo Canales. Catherine Charla. Ryan Richard Coate. Ashley Y. Choi. Alexandra Gabrielle Connor. Joseph Gabriel Cronale. Christopher Lee Sear. Donald Perry Robert Dione. Curtis W. Doran. Tyler Allen Donovan. McKenna Dunn. Caroline Galak Flynn. Daniela Fraga Alvarez. Marco A. Gomez. Kyle Edward Hanlon. Keely P. Heyer. Chloe Hu. John Howard Collar. Zandria Alexis Korn. Maggie Cook. David Lech. Marissa Ann Leone. Nikki Therese Loazo. Jennifer L. McHugh. Celeste B. Marson. Kelly Lynn Martin. Sarah Lauren McKee. James McCrae. Matthew Milliken. Carrie Elisa Manchow. Dylan Frank Muse. Shane Michael Odell. Dominique T. O'Halloran. Tan Doc Pham. Alan T. Fung. Jacob Patrick Pickett. Deanna LeMay Poirier. Carrie J. Posick. Alexander D. Rockress. Carla Isabel Romo. Matthew J. Scanlon. Zayla Dean Schaefer. Joshua Leo Shukan. Samantha Ann Smith. Stephanie Ann Sankarat. Lauren Marie Souza. Hendrik A. Suerio. Taylor Thompson. Ali Valamanesh. Lawrence Joseph Valeros. Mariana Velez Lawrence. Olivia Rose Verdoni. Kelly A. Vidola. Zachary James Weiland. Adele Iris Werner. Kyle Anthony Wera. Alexis N. Zofrio. Graduates from the Civil and Environmental Engineering departments, Zachary Ross Abbott, Lucas Alexander Akaba, Virginia Lee Adams, Peter Inkechukuyem Chibuzo Aliogo Jr., Shannon Stasia Alvarez, Edward Jack Andrews, Catherine Marie Baker, Stephen A. Baltowitz, Sean Seamus Bingham Burke, Matthew T. Biondi, John W. Bonina, Michael James Brady, Sarah Brown, Caitlin Harding Burke, Emily Caffarelli, Lawrence R. Cafaro, Angel Chow, Sarah Cardona, Peter Samuel Carosa, Luca Cersani, Colin Thomas Claus, Nicole M. Colucci, Megan Ashley Kincannon, Austin Elizabeth Crawford, James Sean Curtin, Elisa Nicole Da Silva, Nicholas Robert Day, Morgan Ellen DeAngelis, Marlise Sandra DeYoung, Mark Richard Delacracci, Carly Dykstra, Mackenzie James Eberhart, Austin T. Febo, Dylan Robert Felty, Francesca B. Ferrero, Luke Fraunhofer, Remington Paul Gatchens, Constantine John Galanis, Melissa Rose Galagano, Joseph Daniel Jenga, Kimberly Guthrie, Kant Win Tet, Kaylee Eiler, Abigail Myra Ismail, Julia Marie Card, Alyssa Jordan Konsko, Tyler John Kornacki, Benjamin David Lavelli, Shannon Lee, Jessica Locke, Yasmin Logan, James B. Loring, Sam Thomas Malafronte, Thomas Michael McCarthy, Onis A. Mijahed, Shay Robert Mooney, Jason Michael Morgan, Emily L. Mowat. Alicia Suzanne Musgraves. Shaylin Marie Musumechi. Sabrina Andrea Napoli. Jeffrey Joel Gnarly. Keegan Michael O'Leary. Eduardo Alberto Paoli Loria. Caitlin M. Peterson. Matthew Clark Robasco. Anna Restrepo. Shannon Jean Ring. James Eli Rios. Nathan A. Rogers. Connor James Sakowicz. Sarah N. Sanchez. Eric V. Schroeder Jr. Mary E. Sheehan. Christina L. Skavikis. Kimberly Y. Stanway. Rachel Elizabeth Stickles. Daviana Marie Vasconcelos. Zebediah Giviani Zapchung. Lane Edwin Zembek. Graduates from the Electrical and Computer Engineering departments. Ioannis Alexio. Sean Dale Brady. Matthew David Breidenbach. Colin M. Buckley. Nicole Canandetto. Abraham Cano Ventura. Juan Segundo Caraballo Jr. Eric William Karkin. John A. Searcy. Atria Chakravarti. Robert M. Chase. Keith Patrick Colbert. Aiden Ulysses Cookson. Mitchell R. Curbello. Ryan E. Darnley. Joshua R. Denancor. Matthew P. DiPlacido. Christian S. Elzy. Peter T. Emity. Nicholas A. Fabrini. Alan Ezekiel Fernandez. Dominic Paul Fusco. Ian Solomon Gelman. Parker Averill Grant IV. Abdul Hassan. Stephanie C. Huang. Alexander Ebro. Christopher Neves Jarrett. Yifei Jin. Michael William Kane. Ryan Zachary Snow Kennedy. Danielle Jacqueline Kennan. Ryan Scott Kent. John Terrence Kerwin. William Michael Kerwin. Alec W. Kolhoff. Singjun Lee. Zheng Liang. John Patrick Loftus. Thomas Peter McIntosh. Brian Stephen Mahan Jr. Jack Ryan Marabello. Shannon Kathleen McCormick. Michael R. Morriso. Caleb Collins Mullen. Syed Ayez Naim. Son Nguyen. Angelina Nicolella Fernandez. Nicholas Sylvester Nugent. John Michael O'Leary. Hannah P. Olshansky. Dominic W. Palermo. Nicholas Cornell Pandolfi. Michael A. Panici. Cassandra Marie Pepicelli. Nathaniel Pereira. Kyriaki Rajat. Thomas Vincent Ralph Jr. Jonathan R. Reedus. Kyle Robert Scalplin. Thomas Michael Scaplin. William Redmond Schwartz. Justin Palmer Seeley. Holly Elizabeth Shumway. Justin Andrew Silky. Sabria Zainab Silva. Catherine Marie Smith. Sean Howard St. Pierre. Michael Tassalari. Mio Min Dane. Michael S. Truong. Jeffrey Wagner. William A. Wortman. Galahad Michael Boris Wernsing. Yuchang Zhang. Graduates from the Mechanical Engineering Departments. Brandon Richard Abad. Jocelyn N. Abdallah. Benjamin Stockard Abram. Amanda Marie Alves. Dylan Joseph Arnold. Kyle Richard Arnold. Chase Michael Arsenault. Alexander John Avakian. Sarah Elizabeth Bockley. Azita Bakhtiari. Olivia Ann Baranowski. Daniel Francis Barra. Stephen William Bartold. William Harris Bass. Nicholas E. Batchelder. Laura Ashley Bauer. Christopher Robert Beauregard. Nolan John Bell. Zachary Thomas Bellion. Geraldine Ann Ben. Nicholas R. Bergstrom. Sarah Janelle Becker. Talon Michael Bois. Christopher Chase Bolsinger. Heather L. Barasa. David Bovich. Kieran Patrick Bradley. Aiden Brawley. Maddie Z. Brennan. Emma Wamia Brimdeer. Ileana C. Buckley. Stephen Burke.
Juliana Cabello. David Andrew Cadillac. Joseph Vincent Calden Jr. Zachary Kaplan. David Cardoza. Laura Rose Carlson. Tristan John Carlton. Bendrin Patrick Chafee. James Chaklas. Logan Fu Chen. Liang Edward Chang. Eric Chiam. Thomas Jacob Chudina. Jillian S. Chu. Frank Ronald Siliberto. Teresa Janine Poudier. Sean R. Cody. Brandon Cohen. Michael Joseph Cook. Daniel Scott Corwin. Tyler Thomas Costello.
Thank you so much.
Edward Gabriel Bernard Crofts. Michael Dean Curtis. Ermina Damlamian. Caitlin Marie De Silva. Matthew Paul De Benedictus. Julia Mary Decker. Luis Delator. Grayson Robert DeLuca. Matthew D. Dick. Thomas Peter DiPergio III. Calvin Downey. Jessica Marie Elder. Libertad Paloma Escobar Carrizales. Daniel J. Farnitano. Christopher P. Ferreira. Wesley T. Fisher. Christine V. Flores. Ryan Eugene Foley. Owen Gregory France. Eli Wanacott Frank. Aiden Troy Freeberg. Matthew W. Freed. Holly Grace Gagnon. Alex John Gallant. Sean Peter Gillis. Cole Olivia Gadzinski. Ariel Goldner. Jared Richard Greer. A. Grubbs. Ralph Nicholas Drubeck. Cesar Guerrero. John Haddad. Jessica L. Hanley. Justin C. Harris. Kyle James Havey. Madison Marie Healy. Joshua M. Hurlins. Ryan Joseph Herman. Gabriella P. Hoops. Mackenzie Bodette Rydell. Tess Alian Hudak. Michelle Evelyn Hull. Muhammad Hussein. Cheng Yu Jang. Olivia Bosway Jones. Ju Dong Yu. Alana Jane Kelka-Riffle. Ava B. Carrot. Alexander Kim. Brian J. King. Christopher J. Kervin. Mateus Klimkowitz. Thomas Marinos George Coutron. Derek A. Cruzen. Benedict Zane Kurtz. Walter A. Krasinski. Mark L. Laban. Allison Nicole Labarge. Kevin Howley. Rose Elizabeth Lewis. Rachel Marie Leah. Mark E. Lightbody. Austin W. Lindner. Francis P. Lubega. Andrew George Lucy. Matthew Jacob Lund. Angela Faye McLeod. Max Cameron Marks. Austin Paul McCalmont. Erin Ann McCann. Rosie Christine McCarthy. Glendon Marshall McCormick. Melissa Helen McCormick. Ryan Gilbert McLaughlin. Kelly Rose McMahon. Kenzie Lauren McNamara. James Nicholas Marr. Patrick Michael Meehan. Blaine Patrick Merchant. Hannah Lee Modelski. Emily Paige Molstad. Gabriela Morales Castillo. Lauren J. E. Morgan Evans. Michael A. Monroe. David Christopher Muse. Karen Elizabeth Mushrall. Rongling Na. Larissa Naidu. Miles Anthony Nallin. Peter Timothy Nash. Victoria Ann Nasser. Carly Jane Neild. Malachi Michael Nelson. Matthew Thomas Newell. Justin Hugh Nguyen. Catherine Jeannie Novak. Edward Louis Noyes. Kathleen R. Nugent. James Henry O'Connor. Catherine Marie O'Donnell. Chisom Jerry Ajikime Okafar. Kendra Shea O'Malley. Connor Hayden O'Neill. Jillian Elise Onishi. Kyle J. Opikun. Daniel Ote. Carlos Jose Pacheco Busquets. Joseph M. Peliuca. Robert Alexander Papp. Mitchell Robert Bestizo. Kevin Thomas Pollack. Gregory M. Pelland. John J. Perkowski. Adam W. Peternell. Peter Van Bam. Brooke Catherine Pierce. Nathan Anthony Petrowitz. Marcus Anthony Pritchard. Spencer P. Ralphs. Helen Bradley Randall. Tyler L. Roush. Mitch N. Reed. Brent Reisman. Douglas Rives. Jacqueline Yvette Roberge. Amanda Marie Rodriguez. Nathan L. Rose. Andrea Eleanor Rhoda. Emma Rose Roano. Colette Elaine Bruden. Paula Sardi. Colin Richard Saunders. Brian Thomas Sayers. Zoe Agronic Schwartz. Catherine Schweikert. John Robert Sengensek Jr. Ethan E. Shapolsky. Ayushka Shrestha. Minky Shue. Richard C. Smith III. Joe Stapleton. Charles Carroll Steele III. Jeffrey Scott St. Hilaire. James Ryan St. Hilaire. Timothy J. Stump. Mariah Kathleen Sullivan. Ian S. Sun. Timothy Raymond Tatro. Brian Robert Harrion. Jonathan Thomas Tumay. Sean Christian Trainer. Carl A. Turnquist. Kyle Howard Tyler. Theodore E. Vangos. Daniel Venkatachalam. Alexandra Brazos Wallace. Jessica Catherine Walsh. Martin Augustine Walwick. Thomas Richard Ward. Alec S. Wasey. Zachary James Whitmore. Kyle James Whitaker. Shane T. Whitaker. Jeremy N. Wiles. Catherine Margaret Williamson. Robert Tyler Wilson. Luke B. Shu. Hannah Young. Chin-Nung Kyung. Armando Jose Zubiaga. Graduates from the Robotics Engineering Program. Michael Mark Antonelli. Eva Marie Veronelli. Nicholas P. Benoit. Jacob L. Berman-Jolton. Keon William Bislin. Josiah Daniel Boucher. Zachary R. Boyer. Corey Trent Brolaire. Jarish Benjamin Brown. Peter Fraser McBride Donaldson. Khan Amir. Gabriel Entov. Albert Joseph Agneti. Nicholas Andre Fajardo. Sydney Alexandra Bernard Fisher. Nicole Cecilia Franco. Nicholas X. Gamara. Laurel Ann Hyam. Noah Adam Hillman. Richard Douglas Hosey. Sean Richard Hunt. Suriver Singh Kane. Philip Canizo. James Vahey John Krajen. Mark Edward Landergan. Nicholas John Lanot. Xavier James Little. Jonathan Esteban Luna. Maxi Liu. Toby J. Macaluso. Gavin Keith McNeil. Krishna Satyanara Madharkar. Thomas J. Maloney.
Yeah, Tommy.
Len Hao Mao.
Len.
Benjamin G. Mart. Dylan M. McKillop. Victoria Nicole Marcourse. Alexander Sinas Michelson. And Rebecca Eileen Miles. Andra Joshua Onego. Karina Rose Naras. Sean Thomas O'Neill. Sierra Taylor Palmer. Jacob G. Rhymes. Nathan A. Rosenberg. Felix A. Sanchez. Oliver Daniel Sanderson. Matthew Jordan Schuler. Kyle Patrick Seymour. Benjamin D. Schaefer. Erica S. Snow. Nicholas Adams Sorensen. John T. Stegeman. Alexander A. Taglieri. Jonathan Long Ying Tai. Merrick Vladimir Travnikar. Stephen A. Viola. Benjamin Paul Wagner. Chengyu Wang. Daniel J. Wensley. Alexandra E. Wheeler. Daniel Peter Wivag. Cooper L. Wolanin. Augusto Rolando Wong. Wentao Yuen. Grant Clark Zahorski. Stephen Dean Gallagher.
Our nation's latest engineers, ladies and gentlemen. I now invite Dean of the Foisey Business School, Stephen Taylor, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in Business, Management, and Industrial Engineering please rise?
Woo!
Madam President, I have the high honor and distinct privilege to present the Foisey Business School candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Madam President, the candidates standing have completed the requirements of the university, and the faculty recommends them to you for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields of business, management, and industrial engineering.
By the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, granted to the trustees of Worcester Polytechnic Institute and entrusted by them to me, I now confer upon you the bachelor's degree you have earned in your respective field of study with all the associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Please come forward.
Graduates from the Foisey Business School,
Amran Mosa Alamran. Ryan Amato. Nimadu Umba Luga Goduge. Samuel Bryant Michael Bakiaki. Daniela Milagrosa Baez. Alexandra Caitlin Barber. Trisha Bhattacharya. Michael S. Brooks. Holly N. Cadron. Akash Claypool. Benjamin Campbell Diefendorf. Pawan M. Dodani. Riley J. Doherty. Michaela Elizabeth Dunbar. Roberto Esquivel. Chase A. Flibert. Megan Shanley Flynn. Nicholas Matthew Fontaine. Eric D. Vera. Nicole Fernanda Garcia Andrade. Antonio J. Goncalves. Veronica Alejandra Hartnett Alvarado. Casey Hunt. Elizabeth Jones. Tony J. Joy. Nathaniel Elliott Lambert. Nicholas Robert Lewis. Adam E. Mayer. Conrad Tromera. Jean-Philippe Meralda. Connor Patrick Murphy. Pasevich Nalamling. Hong Chan Yang Beng. Matthew J. Nicholson. Lillian Hope Olson. Solomon P. Ortega. Jacqueline Ann Peniton. Tashara Y. Pearson. Daily Winters Place. Mark Charles Prince. Zachary Trevor Relstab. Peter Anthony Ross. Cassandra Lynn Salafia. Jerome Peter Agana Santos. Benjamin Alvarado Seitz Jr. Cassidy Marcel Sequin. Kathleen Marie Shea. Jose Ruben Sordo. Trung T. Tran Trong. Ryan Michael Trebiano. Jennifer Lee Vandevort. Miguel Ernesto Vargas. Alexandra Lee Ward. Chang Wu. Cameron Sayed Yagubi. Haoshin Yang.
And now, we'll clap some more for you. And now, graduates, please turn and face your families and friends and supporters and give them a big round of applause. I would now like to call on David Wheeler. Please be seated, by the way. Almost done. Almost. But now you are officially alumni of WPI, and so you must, right? So I'd like to ask David Wheeler, president of your WPI Alumni Association, to come and bring greetings to all of you.
We started with good morning. Now I get to say good afternoon. President Leshin, trustees, distinguished honorees, parents, grandparents, spouses, family, friends, graduates. As president of the WPI Alumni Association, I am honored to welcome the class of 2019 into our extended family. Like many WPI alumni, I have come to know our community as a family with broad and deep roots. Indeed, some of our WPI roots go very deep, reaching back multiple generations. I'd like to take a moment today to acknowledge our legacy families here today. With the family members of our graduates who are also alumni of WPI, please stand to be recognized for your long contributions to this university. I will say, our alumni office is taking this a little more seriously now. Shortly after my one-year-old son was first on campus, our wonderful alumni office delivered to me a Graham Wheeler class of 2031 name badge for him. Hangs in his room still. No matter how far we scatter, our triumphs and our trials are shared. There is great comfort in knowing that nearly anywhere you travel, you can find someone with a shared experience who can offer advice, counsel, and friendship. That is the true strength of our more than 150-year-old WPI family. The Alumni Association is a global and dynamic force spanning nearly 40,000 people in over 100 countries. And you can benefit greatly from this worldwide community as long as you maintain your interest in and connection to WPI. When I first arrived on campus, the most exotic accent I had to decipher in the dorms was Brookline, Massachusetts. Hey, we're going to a wicked wild party. You want to come? I'm from Wisconsin. I said, I have no idea what you said. Now the dorms look like the global community at large. Our Alumni Association is now more than 50% millennials. And remember, you can keep and use your WPI email address account, and be sure to check your WPI email always and often for the many opportunities to stay connected to this global community. Remember your friends and your alma mater. In my role as Alumni Association President, I've been fortunate to meet, to listen to, and to laugh with many of our alumni and many of you. We share a vision to constantly improve and elevate the Institute. I challenge you to use your talents, and education to make a positive impact in the world that WPI has specifically trained you for, and in the areas that you have not yet imagined. As important, I challenge you to bring WPI along for the ride. Let us know the impact you are having. When I was a younger engineer, about 10 years out of school, I was working on a project for the Joint Programs Office in Chemical and Biological Defense in Washington, D.C. And then one day, I was walking down the mall, and I saw the device, the project we were working on, sitting in front of the Smithsonian Institute. And I saw one on my next flight out in Reagan Airport. The I made that moment is what all of you have been educated and trained for. You've made this possible, and now you can go make something to impact the world. And when you do so, please bring it back to WPI. The undergraduates want to hear about it, and it's one of the greatest gifts you can bring as a young alumni is to bring these experiences back to the students that are here. As important, when somebody asks you, as you go about your way in the world, where you went to school, you can say, I earned my degree from the best engineering, science, and business school in Massachusetts, Worcester Polytechnic Institute. I would actually say that you've earned one of the best undergraduate degrees available in the entire world. Your degree comes with privileges and responsibilities. I hope you will think of both of these as you leave today, and I ask you to be generous with your time, talent, and treasure over the years to come. I promise it will be one of your best investments. Lastly, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I congratulate you. I welcome you to our family, and I want to let you know that you always have a home on the Hill to come back to. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I now ask Edward Andrews, class of 2019, to come to the podium to lead the singing of the Alma Mater. The words and music are on the last page in your program, and we will sing the first verse only. Would everyone please rise for the singing and then remain standing for the remainder of the ceremony if you're able. Thank you.
Dear Worcester Tech, our praises ring to thee. To alma mater, good and true, we pledge our loyalty. Long have we felt thy guiding hand, thy teachings broad and free. With praises loud in every land, we'll show our love for thee. Then here's to Worcester Tech, the fellows joining everything. We've heard the colors, rings on and ring, for good Worcester Tech.
Congratulations again to the great class of 2019. Please stay for photos with your family and your faculty and your friends around the campus and enjoy the rest of your day. Chairman Mullen will now help close out the ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Leschen. The benediction will now be given by Reverend Lachey, after which the ceremony will be concluded. Please remain standing until the platform party and the participants have left the tent. And we just ask you to keep the recessional path clear for us. Thank you, and what a great day. Thank you so much.
One more time, let's be quiet. Feel the awe of this moment one last time. And I call on all of us to breathe it in. One pause to allow grace by all its forms and names to enter one last time into this ceremony. to guide us and to bless us all. Notice, the sun is shining. May it bode a future that will bring you joy. May you find balance in your life. May your work be meaningful. May your impact on this hurting world be healing and full of compassion. And may you always, always feel the support and love that surrounds you today. You may be gone from our sight, but never from our hearts. Be thankful and go with grace. It is done. Amen. Yes!